Okay, guys, like I said, tonight we're going to go over hotels and all things hotels. Um, I'm going to give you the simplest way to find everything that you need. So everything you need to know about hotels is what we're going over tonight. At least everything you need to know. Let me rephrase that. Everything you need to know right now. If you're a new agent, this will get you what you need when it comes to finding hotels. We're going to go over which vendors I use. Again, my way is not the 100% the way to go. It's the way I do it, and it's worked for me. So I figure it's going to work for somebody else. You by no means have to follow my advice, but again, if you're new, you may want to start here anyway. I'm going to go over which vendors I use and why I use them. I'm going to go over finding the lowest prices. You know, that's our goal all the time. It seems, just to find the lowest prices. So I'll get you there, and I'll show you some examples. Understanding rate codes. This is one of the things that I'm a little, I worry about new agents that maybe they haven't had enough training on rate codes and what they're looking at, and we don't want to book a client into a hotel that they don't qualify for based on the rate code that we booked it. That's a disaster. And I can show you how to prevent that. It's super easy, but you don't know if you don't know that they're there or where to find them. I'm going to go over commissions. Some of these rates that we're booking have commissions built in, some do not. So we're going to go over all of that. The policies, it's not just the cancellation. There are other policies such as amenities. I'll go through those. Things to think about whenever you're booking a client and you need to know what those policies are. Reviews, we did it last week. We're going to do it again. It's super important. We've got to. You don't want to put one of our. We don't want to put one of our VIP clients in any kind of roach motel, shall I say? We want to make sure that when we send them somewhere, that we've reviewed it. It's someplace we would want to stay, whether it's luxury or budget. Price comparison, again, we went over that last week. We're going to do it again. I'm going to take you through and show you exactly how I do it with a booking, just a regular hotel booking from start to finish. And we're going to do that a live booking. I'm going to actually go on here this time and go into the systems and show you exactly how I do this. Vendor simplified. It's pretty easy. Easy book. One of my favorites. I know everybody's heard about it. We've had some training on it in our company. I'm just going to go a little more in depth. I think a lot of people have went to EasyBook and maybe just having a little bit of problems, you know, navigating it. So I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate EasyBook so you can find what you need to find. And CCRA, my second favorite. Well, they're pretty comparable. You never know when one's going to have a better rate than the other. If they do beat each other, it's not by much. But definitely you want to always have both pulled up, and I check both. These are my two go-tos, guys. This is where I go to for every hotel. Rarely do you see me step outside of this box, and if I do, it's basically because I'm not just looking for a hotel. I'm looking to see if I package, say they need a rental car on top of it, then I will. There are other vendors that I'll go and check to see if it's cheaper if I package it. Most of the time, it's cheaper for me to get them separate, because the rates tend to be so good on these two sites alone, and these are travel agent only sites. FareBuzz is another one. I have a couple of friends that are travel agents, and they do use FareBuzz from time to time. I'm not saying it's not worth checking out if you can't find something that you're looking for. It's definitely probably my third go-to. Vax has a hotel only section. You can go there and check their rates. I don't always have a ton of luck with the pricing, but again, if you're going to package something, that's a great option for you. Expedia TAAP. Okay, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you because I wanted people to be honest with me, or I wished I had people be honest with me when I started. I really had nobody. So this is just my thoughts. Nobody has to listen to what I'm saying about this. This is why I don't use Expedia. I think I've used it twice, and it was for friends or family that I could explain myself to. And the reason being is it's not even so much about the commissions, because there's a lot of times that, let's face it, hotels don't pay a lot of commissions regardless, unless they're going for a week or, you know, a substantial amount of time, or a higher end hotel. But Expedia, to me, it just legitimizes the question that everybody has. Well, I can just find the same thing. I can just go online and find the exact same thing that my travel agent found. Well, if you book through Expedia, not only are you not going to make much commission, which is, that's okay, but you're also, everything you send to your client, from the confirmations to their credit card statement, has Expedia written all over it. Now, if I'm somebody looking at that, I'm saying my travel agent is using Expedia. I could have done that. So I don't want to legitimize those thoughts. We know what we do for clients. We know how hard we work for them and how hard we dig to find them the best prices. I don't want to send them anything with Expedia on it. That's my personal opinion, and I'm not telling you not to use it. I wouldn't have listed it if I didn't, but I personally do not use it, and that's my thought process on it. Beds Online, you may not have heard of this one. I don't ever really find great rates for hotels, but they do have some condos and some private homes, and those are not bad. So when I have somebody looking for a larger condo, 2-3 bedrooms, something, if I can't find it on EasyBook or CCRA, I will go check there, because I always keep in the back of my mind that they do have a lot of locations that have condos and private homes. Vacation rooms, Roost, I know that our agency has signed up with them, or is just now getting signed up. They have vacation rentals, and they do pay commissions to travel agents. So that's a good location to go for vacation. A lot of people are doing that now. They want homes. They want, they're going skiing. They want a condo or a private home, or it's a group of them, and they want to split the cost. So luckily, we've got some vendors that definitely have vacation rentals that we can access. And Red Awning is also one that we're just getting signed up with. It's vacation rentals as well, and they do pay, I believe it's 10% commission. Acre Hotels and Auto Europe. Those are two basically for Europe only. If you're going to start specializing in Europe, or you have a big Europe trip, they're worth looking at. I haven't used them much. EasyBook and CCRA also have European hotels, so I tend to use them, but I did list it as an option for people that are booking through, are booking a lot of European tours and that kind of thing. Okay, rate codes, payment, and policies. Definitely, this is a beware situation here. When you go on EasyBook, CCRA, really any travel agent only site, you're going to have rate codes, and with EasyBook, they're a little bit hidden. I'm going to show you exactly where to find them. You may not have even noticed that they were there yet. Therein lies the problem. If you didn't realize that they're there, you could book something unintentionally, and your client gets there and doesn't have the proper ID, doesn't match that rate. So there's AAA rates, military, AARP, senior rates, and government rates that are listed. They have to have IDs for those, and they have to qualify for that rate. So we need to be very diligent in reading, making sure the rate code. CCRA listed out. I'll show you that as well, but you just need to look for a rate code every time. Guaranteed versus prepay or deposit. A guaranteed rate is what we're used to online, where you go and a lot of them, you just put your credit card, it just holds it. You pay for the room when you get there. That's a guaranteed rate. A lot of people like those. Then you've got the prepay rates. A lot of our rates that are very low, that are in EasyBook, CCRA, that are just killing the competition online, they're prepay rates. So yes, you pay in advance for it, but you save so much money that most clients don't mind. If you have a client that can't prepay, they're trying to get their trip together and they're not going to be able to pay till they get there, then you're going to look for guaranteed rates only. And then there are a few listed that are deposit. You don't run across them a lot, but it'll tell you what that deposit will be in order to hold that room. The last thing we want to do is have somebody give us a credit card that goes either way. We need to tell them which type of rate it is, because if they give us one and they think that all you're doing is just running their credit card for a hold and nothing's going to be charged on it until they get there, and it's a prepay rate and you charge their credit card, let's say $500-600, you're going to have a really upset client. So they need to know up front, and vice versa. You don't want them showing up at the hotel. They thought their that they've already paid for their room, and to come find it out, it was just a guaranteed rate and it hadn't been paid for. Refundable versus non-refundable, that also is a biggie. There are a lot of non-refundable rates right now. The really low rates will say prepay, non-refundable. I'm noticing them more and more. Just be diligent. We have to make sure that our clients know what the cancellation policy is, if it's refundable, and if it is refundable, when the cancellation, what the cancellation policy is. When can they get out of this versus being penalized. Resort fees. I don't think most people, or most agents, a lot of them, new agents, forget about this. Vegas, for instance, it's virtually impossible to find something in Vegas that doesn't have a resort fee attached to it. What you need to do is make sure, does the rate that you're giving them include the resort fee? Is there a resort fee? And if it's not included, which typically it most likely, I mean, I'm not saying I've never found them that aren't included, but most likely it's not. And if it's not, then we need to make sure that they know exactly how much that resort fee is and how much they're going to pay when they get there. In Vegas was just one example. I mean, I've seen them in Orlando. You see them all over. You just have to make sure, especially in the larger cities, there's a lot of resort fees now. Amenities. Another thing that a lot of new agents don't think about. If you've got a client that needs an airport shuttle, obviously you're going to be going through and looking for an airport shuttle. You need to make sure that not only do they have an airport shuttle, but when does it run? A lot of these are on limited times. So if your client's getting in later in the evening or real early in the morning, if that airport shuttle's not running, you've left them high and dry because they need a taxi now, some kind of transportation to the airport. Do they have a local shuttle? Same thing. Where does it take them? If they're in Disney, for instance, and they're staying here in Orlando and they're outside of the parks, they want to know, does it take me to Universal? Does it take me to SeaWorld, Disney? And if so, what are the cutoffs? I don't want to have to leave the park 4 hours before it closes or a couple hours before it closes. So those kind of things, if it's important to your clients, you need to know those. Does it include breakfast? That's my husband's biggest one. If it doesn't include breakfast, I don't want to stay. That's just insane. That for me, excuse me, not for other, but my husband. He's crazy about it. If it does, then they, let them know that, because that's an added perk for most people. Especially like here in Orlando, all of these new hotels have got water parks. I just want to make sure if it's got a water park that you're going to be having children, especially with your group or your family that you're booking. You don't want them to have a water park and then find out that they've got to pay $20 a day for it. Those kids are going to, as soon as they see it, they're going to want to run to it. Most of them are included. Double check it. Same thing with parking. Is it free? Is it not? It goes both ways. You never know. In New York, for instance, if you can find something with parking, typically there's a hefty price for it. Chicago's the same way. I've seen it everywhere. So check the parking, check your shuttles, all of those amenities. And if you can't make heads or tails of it, the easiest way, instead of sitting there just looking and looking, go to the hotel website or call them. I can't tell you how many times I picked up the phone and just called, because I'm not going to spend 2 hours trying to figure out if they have an airport shuttle. Commissions and price comparison. Okay. As I said, a lot of these rates have built-in commissions. They vary. They could be anywhere from 3% up to 15%. They're all over the board, so you want to look at that. You want to know if it's got built-in, or is it a net rate. A net rate is going to be without commissions at all, and it's your job to put your commissions in there. So how much do we mark it up if it's a net rate, or if it's got a really low commission that's $2? I've seen $2, $3. It just depends on what you're booking. But if it's got some really low commission to it, and you know that you're saving your client, because we're going to talk about going and obviously checking our prices, but we're going to do price comparison. So we're going to go and we're going to find it online. We're going to find the lowest rate that they can get their hands on, and we're going to see what it comes up to on the internet. Once we know that, then we know what we can do with our commissions. Because obviously we're always going to want to stay lower. We want to do right by our clients. We want to stay lower. And you will have clients that there could be other circumstances, let me say, where they tell you, that they want you to take a certain percentage or mark it up a certain way, or, maybe you've got a contract with a corporate contract where they understand that your commission on everything that you book is a certain amount. This is just for the norm, what we typically do and see. So we're going to check the pricing online. Just like last week, I told you, Kayak's your friend. The hotel website, always check it as well. You never know, especially with the smaller privately owned hotels. They will go in there and change those rates every day. I've seen them do it. I found the lowest rate ever seen in the Keys, turned around, booked it for the client. Only time in my life that I didn't go directly to that hotel website. Couldn't find it lower if I had to. And they had went in there. It was a little mom and pop kind of place. They had went in there that day and had changed the pricing on their end. So their website was lower than anything I could get my hands on. And you'll do it one time, you'll never do it again. So check Kayak. It gives you everybody's prices. It's a one-stop shop for pricing. Go to Kayak, go to the hotel website, decide from there. If you're saving them $100 a night and you've got some crazy commission that's telling you you're going to make $3 or $4, then you feel okay about marking that up a little bit because you're still saving them money. That's what we do. And always compare apples to apples. Make sure that when you're checking a price and comparing it, that it's the same room, the dates are correct, all of those things are the same. You just want to double check yourself so that what you see online, you can honestly go to your client and say, this is $50 less a night than anything you can find online. And they'll love you for it. Reviews, I'm just going to go over this real quick. We did it last week, but know before you quote. Always check reviews, as I said last week. Make sure that unless you were just there at that property, you want to check the reviews. If it's been a year or longer, or you haven't had a bunch of people go there and love it, then you need to check the reviews because you never know what's going on with management and everything else. It's just check them. TripAdvisor, again, they've got pictures that everybody takes. I'm sure we've all been on there. EasyBook, actually, I love that they've included TripAdvisor reviews now. So I can actually look at them as I'm looking at the hotel. It's wonderful. Google it. You're going to find reviews all over the place. The travel agent groups that we talked about last week on Facebook, it's a great place to go research. You can put in, you can go to the search box for the group and type in your hotel to see if anybody's talked about it, if it's been brought up at all. Again, I don't suggest saying, hey, has anybody stayed at the Holiday Inn in Jackson, Mississippi? I just don't suggest it. There are a lot of really seasoned agents in there, and they're not forgiving. A lot of times, they go to your profile, they start looking, if they start getting any hint that you're new, they are going to tear you apart. And I'm just telling you guys this because I've seen it time and time again. Thank God I've never been on the other end of it, but I've watched it day in and day out. So use it. It's a great research tool. You'll learn so much in those groups, but be very careful how you use them. Oyster.com, that's a good one I just found that does, they actually do their own site surveys and put everything out. And then, of course, Expedia, Travelocity, all of those have got their own ratings, their own reviews people have posted. You can check those as well. Okay, guys, let's just get down to a nice, let me get EasyBook pulled up here so you can see. We're just going to go right on to EasyBook, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. So everybody probably has an EasyBook. If you don't, then you need to get you an EasyBook account. So what I do when I get a request, I go straight to EasyBook and I log in. I go straight to CCRA right here and I log in. And I also go ahead and I pull up Kayak and TripAdvisor. And I'll have a tab there, obviously for if I want to check the hotel website. But this is how I do it. This is how I find my great rates. I love this site. So you just go to Book Hotels Now. Once you're signed in, book hotels. And let's see, I'm going to do one. I did this yesterday. There's someone on here will recognize this because. So I just want to show you how I do this. So this person was a lady and her daughter, and they're going to the Mesa area and then Sedona for a few days in June. So they were coming in on the 25th. They needed 2 nights in Mesa, and then they're going to head to Sedona. So basically, I just like you would a search engine online, put in your information, 2 adults, no children. The children, they do ask you for children's ages. You can even add another room on that screen. The little plus is for add another room. You can put 2 adults in there. As long as you know, I think they let you do like up to 6 or 7 rooms, something like that. They also have a group section that they'll help you with groups if you have one. So here's what it pulls up. And when I was so used to CCRA, when I started using EasyBook and found it, it was so aggravating. They've done some changes in the past 6 months that I'm absolutely loving, and they took all of the headache out of this site that was there for me. So I have nothing but rave reviews for it. So we've got a nice map over here, and what it's doing is it's pulling up it's got Phoenix, Scottsdale, all this. So I know I want to be right here in Mesa. So what I can do is I can just zoom in, I can zoom out, and up here where it says sort by recommended, you can pick. Now, if you've got a budget client and all they're caring about is how much it is, obviously you're going to sort by price. You can do it by distance. You can do it by star rating. We're going to do it by price. To the left over here, we've got the hotel name. If you know specifically which hotel that you're wanting, you can obviously type that in. It'll pull up say you type in Sheraton, it's going to pull up every Sheraton in the area. Hotel address. Somebody says, I don't know what hotel it was, but it was on King Street. So you can pull up every hotel that's on King Street. They have got, hold on just a second. Let me see if I can get this pulled up, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm trying to get it to switch over to this EasyBook site. I'm sorry, guys. I think I got it. Everybody see it now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let me go back. I feel so bad that we'll just do it one more time. Okay, one more time, guys. So book hotels. As soon as you log in, you go to book hotels. And this is the screen that I was talking about that nobody could see. I apologize. So Mesa. Dates again were in June. This is just like any other booking agent. 2 nights. 2 adults. Again, here's where you can add another room. Forget how many it lets you do, but it's a bunch. And then you can also remove a room. If you go, oh, I got too many, or they don't want that many. So no children. Hit your search. Okay, here's that map I was talking about. Here is where we can change it to price, sort by name, all those good things. Over here on the left-hand side is what I was saying. You can type in the hotel name, you can type in the hotel address. It has so many options here, it's ridiculous. Points of interest, price range, star rating. I mean, just look, TripAdvisor rating. They added TripAdvisor to this. It's wonderful. So you can even do the hotel chain groups. So Starwood, IHG, all of those are going to be listed here, obviously. And then they've got room. I have used this. They have room type. So if you know that you've got to have 2 queen beds, or you need I just used apartment for Venice the other day. You can pick the ones that will qualify to match your needs. Multiple bedrooms. I used that the other day. And it'll sort it by that. It'll give you all the hotels that have those listed, up to clear down to room class. You know, business, deluxe, all this. I be careful about narrowing it too much. I don't like the apartment because some of them call them apartments and some don't. So I sorted this by price, and right now I'm not putting her at the Night's Inn. It's just not happening. So I'm gonna scroll down through here, and I'm like, I saw this one. And I was like, well, I can't believe how good those ratings are, but what, $37 a night, guys? Come on. And then we've got the Comfort Inn and Suites downtown. Well, look at the address. So right there, that tells me that that's the same hotel, but it's changed names. And if you go on TripAdvisor, it'll also say, it might say Comfort Inn and Suites, also known as Baymont, or it'll say Baymont, also known as Comfort Inn and Suites, because it's changed ownership. So let's just go here and see what this is. Right here, I can click on the reviews. It'll pop right up. I can just get a good overview of what people are saying recently. Very nice place. You can just read through there. Then I can just click, and it's going to pull it up. It's going to have photos. Again, it's going to have TripAdvisor. It's going to have all the photos of the rooms. We know those are not always accurate. Some of these were taken 20 years ago, guys. So again, the reviews. So what do we got? We got the right here, 2 queen beds, $38 a night. It's got it's a web rate. So it's got 2 queen beds. It's got free continental breakfast, and it's a prepay rate. Info. Look right here. Right here at the top, it's got all of this. This is your cancellation info. So for this rate, let's see if they're going to do a non-refundable. Free cancellation till 6/22. And then it goes on to tell you what the penalty is going to be after that. So that you need to know. It's got the average rate. The commission on this is 10%. This is the amount, $765, that you're going to make off of this, and this is your estimated tax. So here's your total. This is tax included if you look here. Now, if I scroll on down, and I'm looking, this is one of the things I was going to look for. When you see like Pegasus or Amadeus, a lot of times if you notice, you've always got blue over here or something that you can click on. But there's not any of those little blue buttons down through here because it's for everybody. It's not a rate that's got restrictions on it. But Pegasus is this is a pay now and save. It's a GDS booking. So they have rate codes for everything. So this one is a pay now and save. You receive 200 bonus points for staying there. But you can click on your policies once again. And this one's going to be different. This one is completely non-refundable. Look, if after today, then they can't cancel. So they've got like 24 hours. It tells you that down through here. It's going to tell you exactly. It's going to spell it all out what the deal is with this rate. So this one is not even $1 more a night, but it's non-refundable. So if we go on down, I'm really wanting to find, right here's a perfect example. Here's a senior discount. Now, if you didn't know to look at this little blue button, you would not know that that's a senior discounted room. It doesn't tell you right here, okay? And if you just go through and you're like, oh, I love it. This just happened to be the very first one on the list, and it was an amazing rate, which I've seen many times, but it was a AAA or an AARP, and you didn't check this, then you could have booked your client into something they don't qualify for. So make sure that when you see these little blue hover overs, or right here, this is for cancellation as well, click to view, then you click on it so that it'll explain to you everything about that rate, whether, if it senior discount 60 and above. I mean, they have to be 60 and above. So in identifications, you have to know these, that they have to have their ID. It's a senior rate. You would not have known that by just looking here. You can separate these by room type. So if I click here, it's going to put all two queens first. Then it's going to go it starts off doing it by price every time, but you can change that this way. Then we're going to have kings. So we're going to start, it's going to have the lowest price king. This is a pay now, so it's going to be a non-refundable pay now. It says deposit, it's not. It's full payment. You have to read the fine print. So there's that. So what I do is I say, well, it's got good reviews. I went through and I looked at the reviews on it. I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that rate. It's prepay. So I'm just going to say, okay, I want to save this one. Then I can go back and narrow it down, go to TripAdvisor, and go from there. So I'll save this one. And then I'll just go on down here and see what else I can find. And I do this, I just keep going. I mean, we're only at $50. So I'm just thinking, okay, wonder what these prices look like online if we're only at $50 here. So there was some of the rates were ridiculously cheap. There was a Best Western Plus. Now, Best Western Plus they're very nice, and they're very, they're pretty standard across the board. They're kind of like Holiday Inns. They're more of an upscale Best Western, and I can pretty well count on these Best Western Pluses to be nice. So I was looking and I thought, well, $58 for Best Western Plus is a good deal. Check the reviews again. Come down. This is a 1 queen. I need 2 because it's a daughter and a mother. So I'm looking. I'm like, okay, prepay. Now this is a net rate. It has no commission built into it. So what I have to look at is tax included. It's a total of $131, but I need to see what this rate is online. I need to check my cancellation policy. Yes, they can cancel it. Obviously, I'm going through this faster than, and I'm going to go ahead. I like Best Western Plus. So I'm going to save that one. But then I was like looking at these last night, and I realized that they had, look at this, Hilton, the Hilton, okay? Now, granted, guys, I've already done this one, so it makes it easy for me to do. But the Hilton at $64, that's awesome. So, sure enough, here's a double twin, in other words, 2 beds. It is no rate type, so it means it's for anybody. Cancellation policy on it is they can cancel until 6/21. It's a net rate. I can add commission to it, and the total for it right now is $142. But I sure do want to see what that is online, because that's just a great deal for a Hilton. So I'm gonna do that now. At the bottom of the screen, got all the information on the hotel. So it's going to tell me everything about this hotel. I'm going to be able to see, do they have an airport shuttle? What, their business amenities? Do they parking? Is it free? Is it not? It'll tell you typically if it's, paid parking or not. It'll tell you all those things. But you can always check it as well with the hotel website. You want to be careful, especially when they're asking for very specific things like shuttles. So make sure that what you're telling them is correct. They don't need to get there and find out different. So I'm saved that one. So what I'm going to do now is, I went through all of these, and there's just some amazing. We got Residence by Marriott for, you never see that. Come on, guys, $67. I'm checking all these rate codes over here. Like, this is a guaranteed rate. Here's an Amadeus. ABC just means that it's through EasyBook, ABC. So, breakfast with Wi-Fi. They've got some that you need to dig. That's what you have to do. But check the rate codes, check whether it's a net, see if it's got commission on it. So once I figured out, and I got me several of these, and I went up here where it says 3, because I've put 3 rooms in here. I think I had about 8 last night, and I went through and just narrowed it down. So I got a little bit more information about her after I did this, and found out that she really didn't. I didn't see her staying in a Baymont or Comfort Inn. So Best Western Plus I still thought was a good idea. Hilton's a good idea. Sheraton's a good idea. Marriott for this, Fairfield, even any Marriott properties. So had I not done that, found out that information, then I would have went through, narrowed it down, started checking Kayak and TripAdvisor. Obviously on here, TripAdvisor is, you can see it, but you can't see all the reviews. You can just see the most recent. Right here is where you can write comments. When we get this narrowed down, we decide what we're going to send them. We can write our comments here. We can put our cancellation policy, whatever you want to put in here. I like to put, hey, online, the cheapest that I can get this, that you can get this for is this, and I put whether it's a prepay rate, when they can cancel by. If it's a guaranteed rate that can be held by credit card, I put that information in that comments, and I always put it there. As a matter of fact, it's smart to do it as you go, because then you don't have to go back and find the hotels again. So let's go over here to Kayak. I've already got it pulled up for us. Baymont Inn and Suites, Mesa. There's Mesa, Arizona. Let's just see what Kayak says. There we go. Where it was wanting to be hateful. So we know that we got the Baymont, so let's just see if we can find it. Here it is. So they've got it for $39, but let me show you something. Everybody, it shows all this. It's even got 4 more sites. Kayak's got it for $30. Let's just go to Kayak. This is where your clients don't realize, and you just have to keep saying, when they give you a rate, you need to say, okay, because this is right here, like $38.25 for 2 queens. So let's select it, and it's going to tell me $87.24. So I go back over here and I go, well, how much did they tell me? And they're telling me $104. So we know we want to get rid of this. Okay, we want to get rid of this one. When they give you a rate, please tell them to go through to the booking process, because I can tell you that 99.9% of the time it does not have taxes and fees in it. If your rate has if there's a resort fee, and your rate happens to include that, these online ones are not going to. So you need to make sure that they're comparing the same thing that you are. So let's see what they've got. Hilton, $110. So I'm looking here, I'm like $110. So let's just go here They're all the same. And it tells me right here, one king, one king. I don't want a king. Two queens. These are accessible. So here's two queens, 109.48, and right here it says, in such fine print, you can even hardly see it. Number one, it says non-refundable. Number two, it does not have taxes in it. So they want $247 for a non-refundable Hilton, the exact same Hilton, but I can come over here, perfect example, guys, and I've got it for $142.79, so over $100 less for the exact same room. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, all of these, none of these were non-refundable. So this is a refundable rate. That was a non-refundable. It is a prepay, but are you going to prepay for $142 or you want it for, $250? So I'm definitely going to put in here, hey, online it's this price. Same thing with the Best Western. That's how I find my pricing, and I love it when I find something that is, just that crazy good. So one more, and then we're going to finish that. I'm going to look up the Best Western Plus. Best Western Plus is at 60, 63. And when I'm going through here, a lot of times I'll see, like I'll check the reviews because I've already got it pulled up. Two queens. Now this is not free cancellation, but if you click on book, it's going to show you that it didn't have it's $133.70. It did not have your taxes added in on it. And you do usually have to go all the way to the end to find that. So we are just under, but it is under, so that's good. So if you want to send this to your client, you put in the comments that you want to put. You put in your client's email address, their name, any other comments that you want to add. What I do with these is I never send anything to my client. I send it to me first. I want to see exactly what that quote says. Don't send something to your client blindly. Right now, you know that you've got these in here, but you don't know what this quote looks like. I can tell you that EasyBooks quotes are amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to myself, but another reason I'm going to do that is because I haven't checked CCRA yet. So I'm going to go to CCRA. I've already done, I've went right here to TripAdvisor. I've looked at the TripAdvisor that was pulled up there. I put in the hotels. Yeah, we're good. We've got the pricing. We know that we're lower. All that's good. I send this quote to myself. Now on this quote, it has pictures of the hotel, the same pictures that you saw at the top. It'll have the description of the hotel that you see at the bottom of these screens. It'll have your amount, your dates, all of those things, and any comments that you've added in there. I want to be able to look at that and tweak it if I want to. I don't ever send my client something I don't send myself first and look at it. So once I've done that and I've clicked send proposals, I send it to myself. I've saved that information. Then I'm going to come over to CCRA. Mesa. Just check real quick and make sure that they don't have something crazy because I've seen it happen. And there's a little trick. Now, all you do is log in. You just have to get your login. All I did was log in, and this is the first screen that pops up. So June 25th, 2 nights, 2 people. It tells you right here, you can actually, like the promotional GDS, internet discount, these are the different inventory classes that they have for CCRA. Some of these, if you say that you need, it'll give you up to 8 rooms that you can book without having to have a group. They do have a groups department. You can contact them, but what I would suggest is if you're going to do more than 1 room, it doesn't qualify for some of these. I know it doesn't qualify for promotional GDS, and I think it's it's the CCRA and the promotional are the 2 that it won't let you search for if you do more than one room. So just remember that you'll have a pop-up that comes up that says, hey, you're getting more than one room, so you don't qualify for these rates. So they could be really, really low, and you won't be able to use them because you're getting more than one room. So let's go search. I'm sorry, guys, it's slow. And for some reason, CCRA has been slow like this for a little while. Okay. So let's go down through here. Now this is going to be your lowest price at the bottom. If you look, guys, this looks completely different than EasyBook. There's no map. You can get a map. You can change things over here, your dates and all of that over here. You can, there's advanced options where you can type in, like I can do Hilton. It really is just playing with this. Go in and do some, search for someplace you want to go and say, I want to go to Myrtle Beach for June. I want to see what I can find. That is the best way to go about doing this. So I narrowed it down to this Hilton, for instance. So if I go here and I click on it, this is how they do it. Now it's going to show me the same Hilton. See, exact same Hilton. Got the description. A lot of times they've got, and it tells you everything. So another free area shuttle. Now you're going to have to go to the website or call them to find out what that, is an area shuttle a mile from the, or does it go around town? You just need, and what are the hours? Those are kind of things, if it's important to your client, you may have to call the hotel to find out. But it has all of it. You can email the description to yourself or your client. All you do is put in the email address and hit send. So I'm going to go, it says 101, okay, but I always check with the CCRA. A lot of times it'll look like that rate is higher, and when I click check availability, I get something completely different. Or the rate that's showing includes taxes. Now, they're right on point pretty much with what we saw online, but I want to point out a couple of things. Look how different it looks. I mean, it's right here. They've got government rates, AAA rates, and general rates. General rates is what we're looking at now. If your client qualifies for one of these two, then you would want to look at that, obviously. But let's go standard 2 queens. This one's non-refundable, just like online. It's a prepay. It's got 10% commission. Right there tells you, they're getting at least 10% online if you book it. So that vendor, whoever it is, Expedia, whoever it is going to get at least 10%. But on CCRA, anytime you see this little red asterisk, that means that it includes taxes. The taxes are included. Always click on the more. Anytime you see the little more, you want to click on it, you want to read it. It gives you everything you need to know. If there's a resort fee, let's see what it says. Breakfast fee. In other words, breakfast is not free. They do allow pets. Here's the price for that. Talks about rollaways, mandatory fees and taxes. The only thing that you'll be asked to pay is if you had a pet, because all the taxes are included here. But you have to read these, and you need to look and see, make sure that there's not any kind of rate codes hidden in there. Something like this one right here includes 2 buffets. But the price is obviously more. So just know that it said 101. I've clicked on that before and found something completely different on the other side of the screen. On CCRA, do not ever take that number for granted. It's just not always the case. Now, and that's like their lowest year-round price that CCRA has listed for them. It doesn't mean that it's accurate. So let's, I just want to, and You can hit the back button on CCRA. That's another thing I love. You can't on EasyBook. So, you know, we can just go through here and look. You've got, there's that Baymont. They've got 45. I bet you $1 million if I click on this. That is more than what we had, but look, their 45 includes taxes. So, and it's already got the commission built in too. I believe that the one we had before did too. But you just have to make sure you're looking. I mean, just the other day I found one much lower on CCRA than EasyBook, but it's give or take. I never know. You never ever know. If you want a book, after we've checked all this, you've sent it to yourself. You found where you want to book it through. For time's sake, we are going to book this one through, obviously there's a book now button right here, but for time's sake we are going to book this one through EasyBook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and let's just do the Hilton. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to find my Hilton. And also, another thing I always check is where it's located. I don't want, I mean, if somebody's going to Mesa, I'm not going to send them clear over in here. It's just not going to happen. But these, obviously, I'd narrowed down because I did them yesterday. But you do want to see it. It turns red when you go like, all you have to do is just touch it, and it'll show you where, like this one's up here. Howard Johnson, where's this one? It's in this area. So you can zoom in and see exactly what it's near. If you're trying to be near like a convention center or something, I do that all the time. So it's very easy to zoom in on this one and see exactly where you're staying. So it pulls it up. We just go over here and find our rate. There it is. So we know that's 2 beds, but I'm going to show you what I do. So guys, we're under $100. So here's what I'm going to do. I've already told them about the cancellation policy. I've done all that stuff that we talked about. I'm going to go to book. And right here, markup. You can put in a percentage. You can put in 10%. I'm going to show you what that markup is. It'd be $14.28. Or you can put in just a flat amount. Like let's say we're saving them over $100. Let's say we add $50. I mean, I'm not saying that you're going to, but you're still saving them $50. You know, a lot more than what. So we can add 50. It tells you that's 35%. I typically, honestly, if I mark it up, if I'm saving them that much money, I'm going to go a good 30 or better. You're going to have other agents that are going to go 99. I mean, it just depends. You know your clients. Service fee, you can add service fees in. I don't. I do it in the commission. I don't do it in the service fee. That's just me. If you've got it worked out with your client that you're going to get a service fee, for instance, the one that we found that's just like $1 less, and you tell them, well, you know, that's, you know, they want you to do it. They don't want to mess with it online. So you tell them, I'm going to add a $10 service fee or $20 service fee, whatever it is. So your customer details is just like booking anything else. You put in their information, name, address, payment details. And here, it asks you, but it's not mandatory that you put, obviously you want to put your client's first name and last. If you don't know who that other person is, you don't have to put anything there. But right here under additional request, if I need 2 beds or I need a king, you better believe, even though I booked 2 beds, I'm going to put that in there. You know, must have 2 beds, must have 2 queens, must have 2 doubles, must have 2 beds, whatever. And I'm also going to put, if they're arriving late, say they're not going to get in until after 11 o'clock, I'm going to let the hotel know that. Any request that they have, if they want to be on the first floor, if they want to be near the door because they're bringing their dog and they want to be able to get out, any request, I'm going to do that. I'm also going to follow up with the hotel and make sure, not immediately, they will not have this reservation for a day or so. Well, it takes a few hours, not a day or so, I shouldn't say that. But as we get closer, I am going to contact the hotel and make sure that they have these notes, that they have read them, and they're doing something about them. So it's just saying that passengers, you just read to see if there's anything here, right? And this one's just saying passengers' name change is allowed, and then it's got the hotel details, again, that you can review and say, yes, that's the rate I want to book, because that's what it's done. It's put it here for me, and I can review all of that, including down to the map, before I hit confirm. Once everything's good, because it does say, it says refundable, I've got my cancellation policy, right? Everything's good. I hit confirm. It pops up, it's confirmed. It sends you an email. Another thing is, you don't, right here where it says email, and after a while it's going to do this. It's going to make me refresh. But before I do that, where it says email, you can put your client's email there, but I typically put mine and I forward everything to my client. Again, I don't like my client to even get a confirmation that I've not read. So I put my email address in for everybody, and instead of them. Yes, I will get 2 copies, but I would rather get 2 copies than them get something crazy that I hadn't read. So that is where that is. That is all the way through an easy book booking. Now, guys, you really have to play with it, but go down, look at the pricing, check your price. I mean, my goodness, look at this deal that we just found this person. So CCRA, the only other thing that I did want to show you, please let me go forward so I don't have to redo all that. Made me think of it when we were on Easy Book, is I really want to show you guys the one screen in the booking. There are just a couple of differences. Slow as molasses. One more shortcut with EasyBook while I'm thinking about this. Right here, it's got your dates and everything, and see how it puts up the little, if you click on that, you can change. So say you're looking for 2, they don't know if they want 2 nights or 3, it depends on cost. You can change it, you can go to a different city, you can do a completely different booking right from that screen. So that's always nice. Right here, you can clear your filters. You can change them from here, or you can do it over here on the left. But this right here, I use all the time. That on almost a daily basis I use. Okay, I got it pulled back up. So what I was saying is, where you can change there, you can do the same on the left over here. But let's just go to, it doesn't matter. Let's go to Best Western Plus. So these little things right here mean that they've got a special, and it's like that they're offering a special on this particular hotel. So it's $147.92 total. The little asterisk tells me that obviously it's got taxes included. But I'm trying to find one that does not have any commission, because I want to show you guys how nice it is here, because you don't actually have to go to book. On CCRA, if there's not commission already built in, they have a little calculator that pops up that you can readjust the rates and you can apply them. And I use it all the time. It's great because you can adjust it, give your client that price, and then hit book now, and it's got that price when you go to the booking screen to put in their credit card and everything. It's already got it up. That's another kind of big difference. With CCRA, and that you might be looking, where do I put my commission in? How do I do this? I'm sorry, it just takes forever. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing one, but let me just tell you how it goes. Right here, where there won't be any commission, it'll be a little red calculator. Okay, so there wouldn't be an amount right here, and it would be just a little red a red calculator. You could click on that and it'll let you do the same thing. You can put an amount or a percentage, apply it to the rate, and it will change this 134 to whatever you wanted to set with your commission added to it. So say we put 20, it'd say 154 there. You would go to book now, and it's going to have that amount listed down through here. You want to read everything on CCRA. It is fine print, honestly. So just it's just looks different. So you can put in everything. You can also save your client's information in CCRA for later if it's somebody that books with you frequently. So you can just pop it all right back up. Send a confirmation email to clients. I unclick that. But you do want to add your commission in there before you go to the screen, and you do that via that little calculator that I was talking about. So it'll have you review it, and then it'll have you book it. That's the difference. There's more than one screen. You do your you calculate your commission in a different place. So like this is a senior rate right here, 62 and older. So they've got to be, they've got to qualify for it. You got to check those. So that's the difference in those two. Those are the two that I use. There obviously are a lot more. I find the best rates every time. If there's a great rate to be found, this is where I always find it. It just happens to be that way, and it's never failed me so far. So that's why I really wanted to share it and show you guys what these look like, and get in there and just play with it a little bit. When you do that, I think you're going to be you're going to find stuff, and you're going to be like, oh, this isn't so bad. It's time consuming at first. That's just the way it is. Let me real quick, I'm going to run right back to my see, it pops up all this stuff from Kayak here. Let me run back. Okay. We're almost done, guys. Okay, back. So the only other thing I want to say is, just like last week, I'm going to probably say this every week. I know that people are going to run across this. This is recorded. It's out in internet world. So whether you're a new agent or you're somebody that just came up on it, I just want to make sure, I don't know if our agents, I'm sure that some of them may be showing these trainings eventually to people. Just understand that if you're not in our agency, our wonderful agency, I might add, then number one, you're missing out. But number two, if you're not in our agency and you're thinking about being a travel agent, or you're unhappy with the host agency that you're with right now, I've been there, then you want some more information, go to the person that either sent you to see this training for whatever reason, or you can come to me. But we just have an amazing host agency that I've never seen the likes of, and I'm here for a reason. And our culture that we have created in this company is unbelievable, and our owners, I can't even begin to tell you what we've got our hands on. We're going to change some things in this industry. So we have one of the only, as far as I know, the only industry recognized certification program. It comes along with your business. When you set it up, you get all of the training. It's about 16 hours worth, and has your tests and everything. But we don't just throw you to the wolves. We start you out. In order to be an agent with our company, you have to complete this training. Everybody does it. I've done it twice. So ongoing training and support, you're looking at it. You get an example, excuse me, not at it, but this is just an example of some of the things we're doing with the agents, because we just have agents that are willing to help agents. It's just, I've never seen it before. So I'm doing this strictly just to help. I've seen so many agents get so frustrated. I was new, and I spent years developing just the knowledge that I've got, because I had nobody to ask. So you can take all of the vendors that you want and do all the training that you want with them. It still doesn't give you the secrets and the tips on how to narrow down all of this information that is travel. So we have amazing support. Our corporate office is phenomenal. And we've got support from other agents, training like this that's ongoing, outside of the major course that you're going to take. The state-of-the-art technology, we sure do. What we're getting ready to bust out has never been done before, and I'm going to tell you what, I've got some seasoned agents that have already came on board, that are with our company, and we are all so excited. This is like, some of the stuff you're never going to have to do. We're going to change everything, and the way that you book, and our back office and everything that we give you is unbelievable. I can't even discuss the low hosting fees. It should be illegal. I don't know, for what you get. I've seen people pay $10,000 to get anywhere near the training that we give and offer everybody, and what we're charging it should be a crime. It really should be. So you can either get back to the person that maybe sent you here, or you can contact me via email. This is my email address, travelbytammywalker@gmail.com, or my website, travelbytammywalker.com. So if you don't know somebody in our company, then get with me. If you are somebody that came up on this, you've never thought about being a travel agent, don't have any desire to be, we sure would like to have you on our VIP client list. I am going to say this, I'm going to say it up front. If you know somebody that's a travel agent, please give them your business. If somebody, if you know somebody in our company, please give them your business. We work so hard to get you guys the lowest rates, and when I say that you get VIP service with us, you don't just get the lowest rates, you truly get VIP service. It doesn't matter if you're on the strictest budget ever and you're staying at the Motel 6, or if you're a luxury client that's spending tens of thousands with us, you get the same treatment. The way that we treat our clients, it's across the board. We all agree that that's the way the clients should be treated. So we're going to get you lower rates than what you get online. I think I was proving that. And the commissions that we talk about, I do want you all to know that everything you book online, whether it's through Expedia, whether it's through Kayak, it doesn't matter where you go. Everything has commission built in. That's how they stay in business. It's built in there. If you don't give it to it, if you don't have a travel agent book, then you're giving it to a company where you're just a confirmation number, nothing more. You'll never be that to us. We give you access to our client-only specials if you sign up as a VIP client. And again, I don't even know what they're thinking, but for a period of time, I'm not sure how long. Right now, today, though, I can tell you that if you sign up, it's a 3-day, 2-night hotel stay for free, just for registering on our VIP client list. If you don't know somebody in our company, go find somebody in our company and get that 3-day, 2-night stay, and we'll send you amazing specials throughout the year as well. Again, here's my web address. This is actually where you can go to get that, and my email address. I'm going to say one more time, please don't go to my site if you have been sent here by somebody else in our company. I would never want that to happen. They deserve your business much more than I do if they're a friend of yours or they know you. All right, guys, it's Q&A time. I hope to goodness that this went off better than last week when we weren't sharing screens half the time. So hold on just a second. Let me get back here. Can you see me?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. All right, anybody have any questions, you can type them over here on the right-hand side, and I will do, I'm not making problem, I'll do my best. Let's see. Mike says, he said, we were in Miami Beach and got a hotel. It was rated 4-star, and it was a dump. He said, I should have checked the comments. I think he means reviews. But, and the parking, he said, laugh out loud. Because, yes, in Miami Beach, it's very common for parking to not only not be free, but be very expensive. And it was $35 to the hotel, plus another $35 for valet. He said, never again. He said, I could have used this information Friday. It's so true. It's so true. So funny. If you find parking in New York, grab it and run quick. Amen. No kidding, Robin. But I have seen some that've got these parking garages. I actually put a client in one, but it was like, it wasn't anywhere near what they would have paid for parking if they had to, find their own resource for that. But it wasn't cheap. Okay, any questions? I've had phone calls all day, and they've all been hotel related, so it's kind of weird. And I got them yesterday too. So, Faraday, do you know of anything that people have been asking you? If I can get her on here. I see you, but I can't hear you.
Tammy, I think you just did such a phenomenal job. And I know that everybody appreciates that so much because it's all good that we get our logins to the sites, but I think what you're doing is providing such a service, because I can't speak for everybody, but when I get in there and start puttering around, it's like, well, how do I send the quote? Or you did such a great job covering everything. I'm sure people will come up with some questions afterwards.
Right.
You really did a great job of covering everything.
Well, I hope so, and I really try to give you guys everything I got. I mean, that's truly how I do it. And I know it seems repetitive, like doing those reviews and price checking, but the one time I did it, and it truly was a mistake. That one time I didn't go to that hotel website, and it was a mom and pop place. That's when I realized, duh, they've got more access to change their rates. I mean, they can change them 10 times a day on you. So those small places are the worst. And you do it one time, you'll never do it again. It was a substantial amount of money, and I said I'll never do it again. But I've tried to give everybody everything I got when it comes to actually how I do it. I could go on for days about hotels. You just have to go through, find what fits your client, and look for especially those deals. Now, you're going to pretty much at minimum going to be able to match them, but if not, you can find a hotel in the same type category. So say Best Western Plus, Holiday Inn Express, those kind of things. Those are very comparable. Hampton Inns. So yeah, you may not be able to get the Best Western Plus for the same price. Say they are a couple dollars more. But then you find a Holiday Inn Express that they'll be just as happy with, if not more, and you'll find it cheaper. So if you just dig a little bit with those prices, you'll be able to stay under.
Well, Tammy, I'll just say this, and I think what you do should be an example of what all of our agents should do, like going the extra mile to really find that lowest price and best value and really give that VIP service, because any of us can just go and quickly, flip in there and, but I think what a lot of us will find is we don't do as much thorough homework, and then the client goes and finds it somewhere else cheaper, and then we wonder why, why isn't anybody like booking with me? So I think you really point out the differences in being a real pro and really making your client feel like the VIP client that we want them to feel like. So
I think there are a lot of little things that we don't think about, just like the parking and the, things that even, at the beginning, there are things that if you were booking a room and you knew you were going to Miami, like Mike did, you may or may not know that the parking's an issue in Miami. So you have to look at those things and we all haven't been everywhere. I don't know things about a lot of places. I'm like, you want to go where? I don't know anything about that. So if you'll read a little bit, about the description, you'll be able to find those things, and you don't want them surprised when they get there. You don't want that phone call. That's a horrible horrible phone call to have. Tammy, you didn't tell me about this $35 resort fee. And they're more, you're seeing more and more of them every day. So especially resort fees, parking, that kind of thing, it can add up, and they'll say, well, my Lord, I could have stayed, I'm staying here at the Holiday Inn Express, I could have stayed at the Marriott or the Hyatt or whatever. They have free parking. If I'd have known I had to pay here, it ends up being a better deal over there. You know, just like I say on airfare, always watch for the baggage, because Southwest gives you free bags. It can end up actually being a better deal, even though it's a couple dollars more. So same difference. You just gotta weigh everything out and be looking at everything.
Wow. I want you for my travel agent because because I like someone that like takes care of everything for me. You know, whether it's the baggage, whether it's the transfer, whether it's the, you know, you look out for the client. So
It's not. It's a lot of work, but that's what we're here for. And we keep talking about VIP service. Don't talk about it. Be about it. I mean, honestly, be about it. It is so tiring sometimes. So tiring. But it just takes one. I'm telling you, if you don't do that work that I just did, you're not going to get that client anyway. Because they are going to go find. What's going to happen is they're going to go find it cheaper. They're going to find a better hotel cheaper or whatever. And it's going to be just because you can't be lazy. You just can't be lazy. And if you do it right, after a few times, they quit questioning you anyway. So, you know, it's a lot of work for, for a little bit of time, to where you can get to where you can breathe with that client, and they know that you're doing, you're not getting those phone calls every 5 seconds. Well, I found this for this. Can you check this rate? Can you check this hotel? I mean, you're not getting that. They're going to trust you. You say, okay, here's where I'm sending you. They go, okay. I love those clients. Those are great.
oh, I'm looking forward to that.
It's
Because we
nice.
all grow our travel business.
A lot of them though.
All right.
All right. So cruises next week, everybody. What's everybody think about that? I got to talking to some people today. Well, actually, over the last few days about cruises. It's going to be a lot, guys. I think there's no way around it not being 3 weeks. Especially if you guys want me to do any kind of like the booking portals, that's one whole evening. So I'm gonna let everybody go because we've got somebody important that's getting ready to take off here soon on his hangout. But next week we are going to start on cruises. I promise we're going to start on cruises. And I really want to get to group cruises because we're getting a lot of those. And I love group cruises, and there's a lot to learn about it. So I can't wait to give you guys all the little details that you don't know, because there's a bunch of them. A bunch. All right, guys. Well, good night. Thank you, Faraday.
Thank you, Tammy. Have a great
guys.
night.
You too.